For the record, I will not be using a hammer on a Synology NAS today. That was just for the thumbnail because that was funny. Nor will I be using a drill. I know. Like and unsubscribe below. What's up YouTube? Jason here with Byte My Bits, and in today's video I am going to attempt to fix one of Synology's biggest, most well-known problem ever. And I say attempt because I don't actually know if I have the experience needed to complete this task, but I'm gonna try anyways. Either way, Synology, I do apologize if I break this NAS. I'm really sorry. Now this is a Synology DS1618 Plus. Synology sent this to me a long time ago in order to do a full, complete home backup. They have since upgraded my model, and I wanted to do something like this to the new one, but since I haven't completed my testing yet, I don't want to break it. So this is a guinea pig because if this breaks, yes, it would suck, but I will not cry myself to sleep at night. Now I've already removed the screws for the project that we need today, and I don't know if any of you have guessed what I'm doing yet, but Synology had their chance to fix this themselves, but they didn't. They chose not to. It wasn't because they couldn't, it's because they wouldn't. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is RGB. Now, as you can tell, you can see my eyes through this little shroud right here. This is meant for some airflow, obviously, but I don't know why it doesn't have RGB behind it. I mean, like seriously, everything is RGB. The other side has a shield. There's no way to see any light through that, which is fine. Hey, I get that. They got some kind of airflow thing going on. I'm not gonna mess with the thermal dynamic fluid viscosity or whatever they have. But what this means, since this sits like this on the device, that means I can put some RGBs somewhere on this side. I don't know where, but I will find a way. Now, the RGBs in question today are going to be this set. I got this off of eBay, $23, I think. I went with this set specifically because of this. It's tiny, so tiny, and it has shrink wrap on it that's not shrunk wrapped. Well, that's dumb. Yep, it's pretty much shrunk all the way. I just don't like how loose it is. I picked this because of this specifically. This is a very tiny little controller versus the ones that you can find normally online that have a large white box, which this will not fit a large white box, but this will fit a tiny little box. So that's why this is the one I chose. The biggest challenge here, and why I think it's possible that I may not be able to complete this today, is getting power to RGB. Not just, drilling a hole in the back and, having a little side plug-in thing for it. No, I want to tap pre-existing wiring. This is where my apologies to Synology comes in because my bad. Now I've actually done a little bit of exploratory surgery, so to speak, kind of unplugging these, see what these look like, see what voltage these run at. The best way to check on this is to plug things in and ohm it out, and then we can see what is what. The first thing I need to do is try to pull power through this into the cable, right? And then plug it in to that, see if I can get power. There's little bitty things right here. I'm just gonna shove right up that hole. Look at that, right there, just like that. And this one, I'm gonna shove right up this hole. Yep, just like that. It is the possibly worst application of a wiring thing ever, but trust me, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. This totally should have a chance of blowing up. Here's our first test. If this does blow up, I'm seriously very sorry, Synology. Please forgive me. Don't abandon me. Also, where's my shirt? Just kidding, please. Okay. All right, strike should be, ooh. Nothing.
A few hours later.
This was a project I thought would be simple. A project that I could just turn the camera on and within the confines, the limitations of my own memory cards, which is roughly about 52 minutes, that I could figure it out. Again, slightly naive over here, but I learned. Anyway, I have turned down the studio lights, if you haven't noticed, as low as possible to at least be able to see me still, but also to try to show you what this looks like in the dark. Don't worry, I did take some footage separately that I will overlay it. But through a lot of testing, many hours of tracing down why I couldn't get it to work, turns out it didn't have enough power. It was trying to light up the entire RGB strip, and that just was not a possibility. I ended up finding some other like test strips and like shorter strips, and I was hooking it up and I was able to get it to light up, which, you know, led me to finding out that I needed to reduce the amount of RGBs. Now there was actually a very specific amount of RGBs, because at the very end of it, when I cut it down and I was kind of installing it and putting it in, the very end of the RGBs were not lighting up correctly, only on some colors. Like for example, blue would not work. I tapped right into one of the power cables, looks like a PCI-ish style header that goes into the side. Again, I got video overlay so you can see all this. I tapped into that using a couple different methods, but primarily I just directly tied right into the wire that was coming out of that. The yellow line was supposed to be a 12 volt, but I feel like it's not 12. I could be wrong. So I think it's supposed to be a 12 volt. I think red's supposed to be a 5 volt. I tapped it into yellow to get more power. I mean, at this point, it lights up. I don't really care what voltage is what. So here we are. But anyways, I tapped into it, ran the adapter, and I actually double-sided taped the adapter to the top of the box to kind of keep it out of the way, and then proceeded to run RGB strips everywhere that I could within the limitations of what I had. Now, bear in mind, I didn't focus anything on this side because this side has no see-through capabilities whatsoever. It's only on this side. I don't know if you could see it there, but just kind of barely, because it's not very bright. These are not the highest quality or most concentrated RGBs out there. Also, it's probably not running at full power. But on the back, kind of cool. It gives a little bit of a glow. You can kind of see that there, a little bit of glow on the fans. Thankfully, everything's out of the way. I had to spend a little bit of time to make sure it wasn't going to interfere with anything like the hard drive sliding in, for example. But I got everything wired to where the fans light up, the Synology logo on the side lights up, and in the dark, which most of the time my servers are in the dark, it does look pretty neat. Yes, I just said neat. I was going to go with cool, but I figured neat was neater. So that's it for today. I feel like this should go without saying. 1, don't try this at home. Seriously, I probably voided multiple warranties, like just even trying this. I tapped wires, I cut into them, I spliced. I don't think Synology is gonna appreciate it. 2, I apologize, Synology, for tearing into your equipment again, but you really need to add RGB. I feel like this is a simple thing to add, you know? Like, why not? But seriously, don't try this at home unless you know what you're doing. Nope, that's a bad statement because I didn't know what I was doing. I still did it. I still do not recommend it. Do as I say, not as I do. Now that I've actually figured out the best possible way, what I need in order to get this going as I wanted it to, now I know kind of what to do with the second one, with the newest one. I'm not going to do it until after I complete my testing and my review, but at least now I know that I can RGB it up and it'll look pretty cool. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you want to find out more about this Synology, links are in the description down below. If you have any questions, comments, or hatred, of course, post those comments in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and have yourself a good day.